What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks, presented by Scores and Odds. If you haven't already signed up for Scores and Odds yet, you're just making bad life choices. Just go on over to scoresandodds.com, sign up where you got picks from me, from Daniel Chevelson, from Meansy, from Noto, from all the greats you know over at RG, plus a ton of tools like this little prop shopping tool here, where you can see exactly what RG projects for each individual stat category and each individual player, and what the best line is at. Like we can see with Luka here, we project him for 45.21. The best odds are on the over, 46.5 at minus 115 over at DK, or under 47.5 at minus 120 over at PointsBet. So it saves you a ton of time on line shopping and lets you know exactly what we like every single day. Plus, as I said, all the pros writing up their bets, and you get access to Grant's Action Lounge. If you haven't heard of Grant's Action Lounge, then you have been just giving up a ton of money, because I post all my bets in there every single day as they come along. Just look at the pinned tweet and boom, you can see exactly what I bet today, what I bet the other day. It's that simple. So just go to scoresandodds.com/Discord and sign up. I'm joined by some people would call my friend, Daniel Chevelson, who thinks that he can beat Air Bud one-on-one in basketball.
I didn't make that claim. We were arguing in DMs that check out the John Oliver clip on Air Bud. It's a real deep dive in the Air Bud. It's not political in any way. John Oliver from HBO's show. It's definitely worth checking out. And talking about Air Bud, they break down his box score. And like, if you can't score on Air Bud, and look, I respect the great multi-sport athlete that is Air Bud. Full respect to him. He's amazing.
He's playing against sixth graders. Like, sixth graders already have a tough enough time scoring. Like, they're probably not strong enough to make a three-pointer. So all you have to do is run a 2-2 defense with guys on the inside and Air Bud trailing around the perimeter, just going after the ball. Like, you have to realize he's very close to the ground. He's very fast. All he has to do is run up. He doesn't
understand the rules. He's going to foul you or bark at you or jump on you.
How's he going to foul you? He's just going straight up after the ball. Like, the biggest problem in basketball, a foul, is when you don't just get the ball. He's going straight up after the ball, and he can run 25 miles an hour.
What? He's not that fast. And also, like, you got to slow down, too, on the basketball court. Hey, what do you think his most impressive skill is? Like, because he starred in seventh inning fetch, of course. He played some baseball.
It's got to be.
He was golden retriever. He was, I believe, a wide receiver. I mean, that seems pretty impressive. I don't know. There's like a whole bunch.
Oh, sorry. How fast do you think golden retrievers can run?
I don't know. 20 miles an hour?
35.
Really?
Yes.
Man,
what you don't understand is the speed of Air Bud, but this is a betting show.
Doesn't understand the rules and how to play the game.
Doesn't matter. This is a fictional character that it's a dog that can somehow score. Like, not only score, he can somehow shoot incredibly well.
But he might shoot in the wrong basket. He doesn't know what's going on.
Apparently he does. He never shot in the wrong basket.
Secretary had no idea that Secretary was the greatest eraser of all time.
First of all, he's not going to shoot at the wrong basket because you have to pass to him.
Well, what? He gets a steal, then he goes the wrong way. That's not possible.
He's not. Well, he can't dribble the ball. He's not. He's Clay Thompson. He catch and shoot. That's all he is catch and shoot off the nose.
You just comped Air Bud to Clay Thompson. I just want to make sure that's clear.
Yes.
He's got an inside game. He shoots with his nose. He can't shoot from like 25 feet out.
He made some 3-pointers, I believe, in the show.
No, he didn't.
I have to rewatch this movie.
We got to rewatch Air Bud.
Yeah, but let's get into the bets here. We got basketball. We got baseball. A lot of my bets are in the Brooklyn game. First bet is Kevin Durant. I probably should update these. Kevin Durant over 6.5 assists. I took the alt line, sitting at 5.5 over at FanDuel, but you can have it at 6.5 at plus 128. I just think that's a solid overall line there. I'm trying to update things, so hence why I am stalling for time so that I can pull up his game log, because I like to do that.
You're saying words.
I am saying words, but yeah, looking at his 8 assists in the last game, he's had double-digit assists in 3 of the last 6 games. Beat this in 4 of the last 7. It's Justin Carlucci, the Luch, as you may know him. Air Bud, he compared to Danny Green. Just sitting in the corner.
That's not anything in your. That's not a favorable argument for you. Just to be clear, he doesn't like Danny Green. He's a Philadelphia fan. He's never seen Danny Green make a 3-pointer on record. So he's on my side. And again, I'm not besmirching the good name that is Air Bud. To be clear, big fan.
Yeah. But yeah, over 6.5 assists plus 128. I like that. I think that's what the line should be at, not 5.5. So if you want to take it at 5.5, that's fine. I took it at 6.5. I got Kevin Durant under 3.5 turnovers. I'm living very dangerous here. He averages 3.5 on the season. I got it plus 150 over at Caesars.
Do you have a take on who wins that game? Is Brooklyn just going to roll over, or are they going to? They're down 3-0. They're home. The whole Ben Simmons, whatever's going on there, he's out again. He was supposed to be coming back. Now he's not coming back, and I don't know how much he would play anyway if he would play, but. Or is Boston just like they're going to go for the throat and that's like they're just better and that's that? Like, is that it? Is it over?
I'd say they probably it's a coin flip with slightly more edge to Boston.
Yeah.
Like the line's currently sitting at minus 105, minus 115. I'd take Boston if I was going to bet on that.
I feel like it's one of those you'll know in the first quarter, like in the first like 15 minutes in, you'll know. Okay, is this going to be?
Wasn't Boston down like 20 against the Nets in the last game and then came back?
I know the first game, they won. They were down with a couple seconds left. They had the walk-off with Tatum.
Yeah, that was one of the best innings to the game I've ever seen.
Incredible. That was an amazing finish. That was awesome. As an impartial, wasn't rooting for. I didn't gambled on it. I'm not a Boston fan or a Brooklyn fan, but that was a pretty incredible finish. And if that would have happened like deeper in the playoffs, that's got to be like in the montage, like for years to come. Is like best plays ever. Incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, it just happened to be in a first round playoff matchup, which realistically either of these teams could be in the conference finals.
I don't know. Maybe Brooklyn's just not as good as we want them to be. Like they're down 3-0 and
they're down 3-0, but every single game has been incredibly close. Like that's the thing people don't realize. What was the game 2? Game 1 came down to the last second. Game 2 they lost by 7. Last game it was pretty close until the end. Yeah, they lost by 6. Like again, Tatum misses that basket or he shoots it half a second later.
Yeah.
Then this is now a 2-1 series.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. And the whole conversation, a lot of the conversation around was like, everybody's trying to dodge that 2 spot. Nobody wanted to play Brooklyn. And I guess Boston's just, I don't know. I don't recall now if they went out of their way to not get it or they just didn't care, but it seems very likely they're moving on, obviously. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Next bet, Tobias Harris under 7.5 rebounds. It's actually moved to 8.5 with heavy juice on the under. I got it under 7.5 at plus 120. I think you can still probably. Do they have alt lines out right now? You might still be able to bet this at even better odds potentially. Tobias Harris alt rebounds under 7.5. You can get plus 100 now. All right, so it's moved drastically. I don't like that bet anymore, but
no FAB in that game. Hey, let me ask you this about, do you have a thought on it? Embiid and his thumb, right? I don't know how much. It's a pain tolerance thing. I presume he's going to play through. He's got the torn ligament in his thumb. He's going to have surgery after the season. This is just a thought I had. Like maybe this makes him less likely to shoot from 3. Maybe it's harder to shoot like long distance. He only took 1 3-pointer the last game versus Toronto. He took 8 in the previous game and 2 before that and 2 before that. Like he's not a known 3-point shooter. He of course had the walk-off 3. He can hit a 3, capable, especially for a big man. I was thinking about like maybe betting under on his made 3s. Like maybe it just hurts him. I don't know, but what do you think as amateur doctor? Would it hurt a little bit more, incrementally more, to shoot from like 25 feet as opposed to 5 or 10? I don't know.
It's more about his grasp on the ball than anything. I'm actually going to bet that. I can pull it over this screen. FanDuel's being nicer to me today. I can get 244 on the line on Embiid under 43.5 points, rebounds, assists. I'm hitting it. Boom. Hit. That's the alt line. I like it slightly better than 44.5.
And he had his worst game. I don't know if it's a coincidence or just however, but he had his worst game of the series by far. And he only took 16 shots, the least amount as far as getting to the line. To get to the line, the least amount as well too. 9 free throws. I don't know I don't even know when this ligament thing.
There are some people suggesting that it happened a while ago. I'm more on the side of it just happened. So
it's never been officially cited like when it happened, right? Like I know there's been speculation, but unless I missed it. So maybe he's been playing through it for a while.
I'm still hitting the under. I still like the under. Trying to see if there's any bets. We'll do basketball and then hockey. I have one bet based on my system. Will not tell you what my system is other than I have a guy.
Do you have a guy?
Yeah.
Okay. I just tell you to bet the Panthers every day.
Yeah, that's fair.
That actually worked. They won like 11 in a row. They're number one in the Eastern Conference, and I don't know if they might have lost since. I'm not sure. Now they're just kind of coasting the last couple of games, I suppose.
Yeah, it was the same thing with the Avalanche for a while. We went on one of the longest home win streaks in NHL history, if I remember correctly. But I'm not a hockey guy. Bruce Brown over 14.5 points. I don't know what's gotten into Bruce Brown.
He's been great.
26, 23, 5, 18, 21, 18. He's been hitting his total for the game in the first quarter like every single time. Do we have a line on first quarter point? I don't know where to find that. So, but yeah, if you get a line on Bruce Brown first quarter points, it's solid. But Bruce Brown over 14. That's my favorite bet. One of my favorite bets of the day. Tyrese Maxey over 26.5 points, rebounds, assists, kind of going off of my Embiid thing. Like, I don't think I think he's going to be affected by it. So I think Maxey, who's the number 2 option realistically right now, not Harden, is probably going to do a little bit more on the offensive end. So over 26.5 points, rebounds, assists, got it -106 over on FanDuel. I think that's a solid line. And then, just bet the Embiid under. You got to take on any of those, or should we move on to other things?
Let's move on. I don't have a good take probably. So
all right, James Van Riemsdyk to score a goal. I don't know who.
Is that James Van Riemsdyk?
Yes.
I think he's on Toronto. Is he still on Toronto?
I think he's on Chicago.
Oh, was he once on Toronto? Now I'm just trying to show off my hockey knowledge, or lack thereof.
Yeah, I put a half G down to win 1,300 plus 260 odds. I like to party.
He's currently a Flyer. We were both wrong.
Oh, he's playing the Blackhawks.
Okay, and he was once. He did play. No, I guess he's always been a Flyer. All right, I must be thinking of somebody else. No. He played for Toronto from 2012 to 2017. All right, so I'm only 6 years behind or whatever. But he was played for Toronto for a while. Go ahead. You were saying.
All right, let's move on to baseball. I bet this. I'm not a hockey guy. I have a system. I bet it. Like a lot of offshore stuff really likes it. So I bet it. Moving on. Charlie Blackman, Chuck Nasty, as they like to call him. Over 1.5 total bases. He got the platoon split going up against Gibson, who's been very, very good this season. To righties, hasn't been great to lefties. Chuck Nasty's been pretty solid overall. Like Gibson, historically a big splits guy. Going back to the beginning of last season, 264 ISO or WOBA to righties, 0.097 ISO compared to 312 WOBA to lefties, 155 ISO. Chuck Nasty's probably going to be batting in the 2 spot. Likely on the road team, likely to get 5 at bats here, or pretty likely. Doesn't strike out a ton of lefties, so the ball's going to be put in play. Gives up a decent amount of hard contact, decent amount of line drives. So Charlie Blackman, I got it plus 135. It's sitting at plus 140 over at Superbook if you're in Phoenix or Colorado. By the way, if you're in a state with Superbook and you're not a huge limits guy, like you're not betting $1,000, their props are the worst lines by such a wide margin. It's
Who's
ridiculous. This? Superbook, which
Stay
is
away
weird.
from them?
Huh?
Stay away from their props?
No, they have the worst lines as in the best to make money on.
I got you. Okay.
Like it's incredible how bad some of their lines are, but they limit you to $100 bet, so I rarely bother for a $5 bet. But if you're in Arizona or you're in Colorado, get on there. It's literally the best place to make money on props. It's not remotely close.
All right. Worth noting.
Yeah. But Chuck Nasty, you with me there?
I don't have a strong take on it. I do. You know who I like in that game? And like your boy, Reese Hoskins.
Reese's Pieces.
You know, I like to dig into like the StatCast stuff and all that. You know that Reese Hoskins is second in all of baseball as far as hard hits percentage this season.
Dang,
he's hit the ball hard.
I mean, he always hits the ball hard. He's the best baseball player of all time. Yeah, plus 50% hard hit rate versus lefties so far this year. I mean, obviously not a huge sample size. It's only 14 at bats. Numbers versus righties, 40% hard hit rate. Yeah, only 4% hard contact. Soft contact. Overall, he's good.
Yeah, I like Hoskins a good bit tonight in DFS. I know this is not a DFS show, but that's kind of like, we're kind of merging the worlds because that's what I focus on. I was writing the expert survey today for RG, and of course there's a Venn diagram and it all kind of blends over, and it just sort of a thought process. I think Hoskins is an interesting take against Kyle Freeland. Kyle Freeland does give up a fair bit of homers too. I think 1.4 homers per 9. If you're looking for homers, if you want a guy to homer tonight, I think Hoskins is my favorite, like random one. I don't know if he's random, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not that random. He's sitting at plus 330 over on FanDuel. That's not bad.
Okay, yeah, because home runs are severely down. There's speculation on the ball being dead and all that. So I don't like any bet.
I'm staying away from all home run bets for a while. I like it outside of maybe Buxton.
Yeah, until it gets hotter, until the odds change a little bit and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, and I don't know, it could be a combination of all the things, all the factors we've talked about throughout the season, the shortened spring training, the weather being terrible, maybe baseball. Like, I don't know why, there's no explaining it, but why would baseball want to kill homers? Like, that just seems so dumb.
Because Major League Baseball is the worst run professional organization in sports.
It's like, if you were to be like, if Dr. Evil was the commissioner and he's like, I want to make this sport go away, like that's what you would do, right? Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. They just are awfully run. On the other side, I have Kyle Gibson over 5.5 strikeouts. I know he's not on the main. Is he? He is on the main slate.
He is. Well, no. Depending on where you're shopping, right? So DK has an early slate and FanDuel doesn't. So FanDuel's got a 5-gamer starting at 7ish. DK's got a 7-gamer starting at 6ish.
All right. So you've looked into it. He's been fantastic this season. One bad start in Coors, but 6 and 10 strikeouts in the other two. Colorado, like, one thing to always keep in mind looking at plate IQ with Colorado, like, they strike out at 24.8% clip. Everyone on the roster played there last year with the exception of Chris Bryant. So you can add like 10% to K percentage to the lineup, pretty much 10, 15%. So they're one of the highest strikeout lineups with their current projected lineup in the entire league. Going up against Gibson, like, this is just a spot. I got over 5.5 strikeouts. What did I get it at? Where is it? Gibson.
I hope you got some juice on that.
Plus 100.
Blackman batting second, by the way.
Yeah, I figured he would be.
So there's a report about Bryce Harper getting his elbow tested on Tuesday. Today's Monday. What does that mean? Like, does that mean he's not playing today? Why wouldn't they test his elbow today? He's been dealing with a bit of an elbow issue. What is the official terminology they say? Scheduled to test out his lingering right elbow injury during a pregame throwing session on Tuesday. Oh, you know what? I think he's been DHing. I think that's what's going on. I'm pretty sure that's what he's been doing. So maybe he will be hitting, but maybe they're considering seeing if he's able to return back to the field. I think that's what's been happening. Don't quote me, but I was going to say the original verbiage. I'm like, oh, does that mean he's not playing tonight? But no, that probably means he's just still DHing.
Yeah, and Aaron in chat mentioning that Gibson added a cutter this year. I feel like he added a cutter last year. Yeah, he did. He's just throwing it at a drastically higher clip this year, kind of not really throwing his fastball much, mostly going with his cutter, which kind of throws guys off a little bit more. Doesn't have a huge whiff rate, but his strikeout or his fastball didn't really last year. But adding the cutter, sinker, changeup combination with the slider in there going up against righties, that's pretty solid overall. He's also throwing a sinker a lot more versus righties this year. So, yeah, I mean, Gibson's looked good. Gibson's looked very good. Over 5.5 strikeouts. It's actually moved pretty heavily on DraftKings where I got it. I got it at plus 100 on the over. Now the under is sitting at plus 100, plus 105 over at Fox Bet. So I could hedge out for a profit, for a $50 profit or $25 profit, but I'm not doing that.
We got the official Colorado lineup, by the way. Connor, Joe, Blackman, Bryant, Crone, Grichuk, McMahon, Diaz. So that's different than what we had projected. I believe we had a different catcher projected today. And then Rogers and Iglesias. Iglesias was also not projected for what it's worth. I'm trying to see who got kicked out. Hilliard, which is bad. You wanted Hilliard in there.
Yeah,
he's a big
definitely
strikeout guy. Unfortunately, he's not playing. And Diaz will be in there for Nunez, who also is a big strikeout guy. So just a heads up, whatever. And that's, those are two big strikeout guys that are not in the lineup now.
Yeah, no, that definitely Diaz and and they got replaced with two low strikeout guys. That I'm not happy about that. I still think it's a solid bet, but they took out the two biggest strikeout bats and added two of the lowest. So
sometimes you get burned. Like sometimes that doesn't mean you can't get there, of course, but
I wouldn't bet it at minus 135 at DK now. I still don't hate it minus 115 over at MGM, but yeah. That's definitely a worse line than I wanted.
Yeah, not ideal. Doesn't mean you can't get there, but like you wouldn't. If you could take back your bet, if you can rescind it, would you do it right now?
At plus 100 now.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. At plus 100, I still like the over. Again, Gibson's been great, but I'm not betting it at minus 115 at MGM right now. Like that's the main thing. So
makes sense.
Yeah. Merrill Kelly. Let's see if the line's moved on this because it sure should have.
He's been really good this year for Merrill.
He's been fantastic.
I mean, I don't know if it's kind of an anomaly or whatever you want to call it, but he's been. I was looking at that today. I was looking at Kelly. I'm like, wow, Kelly's been awesome. The K rate's been really good. Walking a few too many guys, but 28% Ks, 7.9% walks. Not ideal, but not horrific. But of course, he's facing the vaunted Dodgers. Sometimes they open that roof, sometimes they don't, depending on. If you want the offense, ideally you want that roof open, I imagine, because it's probably kind of hot in the desert, even though it's cold everywhere else. But go ahead and give your thoughts on Kelly, because I was thinking the Dodgers could be like betting them on like a ladder, like minus 2.5, minus 3.5, minus 4.5. If for no other reason, what I was digging into was bullpen stuff, and the season's short, small samples, and all that. But if you look by Sierra, the Dodgers have the absolute best bullpen in all of baseball as far as Sierra, and they're starting with Walker Buehler is just, an excellent pitcher. Not like a strikeout Savant, he's good, but like just really, really good as far as subduing runs. And Arizona is the absolute worst team when it comes to bullpen so far this season, when it comes to Sierra. So you got the best bullpen, one of the best starters, and they're like, well, Mary Kelly. And I'm going, wait a second, Kelly's been okay. Like he's been, again, I don't know how real it is, but he's been fine, like really good this year. And he always wasn't like horrific. So I don't know. I just thought the Dodgers could be a night where they roll, but maybe not.
Yeah. Also going back to the Gibson, Aaron in chat telling me maybe take a hedge. No. So the big thing is like, it's still a downgrade. It's not enough of a downgrade for me to want to hedge out. Diaz and Iglesias are both righties. So like they're righties that don't walk, and Gibson far better versus righties and lefties. Strikeout rate 24% compared to 19% since the beginning of last season. So it's not a full lateral move, but it's not that much of a downgrade.
Collectively now, the Plate IQ is updated. It's got the official lineup in there. 20% that Colorado lineup as far as striking out versus righties dating back to last season. And, you got a couple Reds and McMahon 24%, Rogers at 23%. But, yeah, Iglesias at 14% and Diaz at 14%, replacing like the 25-30% guys. Not ideal.
It's not ideal, but at least he's only facing two lefties in Blackman and McMahon. Yeah, going back to Kelly going up against the Dodgers, I got the over at 4.5 strikeouts. I got it plus 140. Like that's
just big number.
Yeah, it's a big number, and I mean, he's been fantastic this season. 28.6% strikeout rate. There's still some strikeouts in this lineup. Not a ton.
Not a lot.
Well, I mean, there's Bellinger, there's Taylor, there's Muncy.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
He doesn't walk a lot of guys, so that's the biggest worry going up against the Dodgers. But yeah, 4.5 line. It's what the line should be, but it should be at minus 115.
What did you get? Plus what?
On the other, I got plus 140.
Okay, yeah, I think the plus 140 makes that pretty tempting. Yeah,
that's it. I still think it's slightly more likely that he gets the under than the over, but it's pretty darn close to a coin flip. It's a great bet in my opinion. Let's see what else. I got Jose Berrios under 5.5 strikeouts. Berrios, not really an easy matchup going up against Boston. There are some big strikeout bats. He's been all right this year, or hasn't been great this year.
He had that one bad start, Berrios.
Yeah, that one bad start. But I mean, realistically, he hasn't been striking out guys at a huge clip. I mean, 5, 6, and 0. So he's missed this in 2 out of the. Granted, he did just get 6 going up against Boston in the last one. But yeah, at 5.5 is too high. I got the under at plus 100. So I think it's more likely to hit the under than not. I'd put it at a 53% chance, 52% chance, which offers you some nice positive ROI.
There was some speculation on some of the Boston guys not being vaccinated. So I know one of the pitchers, I think Howard was one of the guys that probably is not going to make the trip. That doesn't matter. I was just wondering if any of the hitters are. I don't know if it's out there just yet, but curious to see what that lineup may be. And JD Martinez probably doesn't play, right?
Yeah.
We're expecting him not to play as well.
I mean, is that really a downgrade?
No, I'm just you want him in there probably because all you care about is strikeouts. Not obviously if he gives up 7 home runs, he's probably gonna get taken out of the game. But I mean JD's a guy you want him there to strike out a good bit. But the back end's gonna be pretty rough. They're projecting Travis Shaw to be in there at 30%.
Berrios isn't great versus lefties though. So
yeah,
Bradley, Shaw. I'm fine with that.
He strikes out 26% of lefties.
Yeah, he also works the count. He also gets beat up pretty heavily. 353 WOBA, 234 ISO.
But isn't Shaw one of the, he's in the back end of lefties we're afraid of?
Yes, but he's still a lefty though. He still has a platoon split, so it's not awful.
How many JBJ probably cracks that lineup? You want him in there too because he's a big strikeout guy too. He's a lefty, but you want him in there, a lefty with no power as well.
Yeah. But also going back to your point about Boston, I have Toronto minus 2.5 runs.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if it's even out there or if I may have missed it. I was trying to find it last night and I just did a bad job Googling or it's not out there. But there has been some rumors and speculation. Several teams they've talked about, in the AL East that Toronto's going to have this advantage by playing home games. Because certain, the Yankees, we'll talk about that when it happens too. There's some speculation there as far as the Yankees, but we care about today and today only. That's what we're talking about as far as Boston. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe they're all good to go, but it was just a couple pitchers or something like that. But just something where it's worth noting, I guess.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm on Toronto minus 2.5 runs is the last bet I have here today. I just really like Toronto. They're playing at home. Again, we don't know about Boston's vaccination status on any particular guys. Berrios and Eovaldi, similar pitchers. I'll take the Toronto lineup. I'm getting it plus 260, 255 over at Fox Bet.
I don't hate that. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, I just like Toronto, and I mean it's I've done really well on alternate spreads for baseball so far this season, just because a lot of places aren't great at setting the line. Yeah, no, I'm down. I'm sure on baseball. Let's see, I'm down 2.5K or 2.2K on baseball this season on this show at least. Let's see what I had a really good day yesterday and the day before, so I'm actually up money on baseball so far this season overall. On this show, I'm down money, but I'm still up 2.5K on alternate
spreads.
It shows
Monday through Friday, but on Saturday, Sunday, you do put stuff in the Action Lounge, right?
Yeah, no, and I think on the Action Lounge, let's see, I made $600, so nothing spectacular on Saturday. Made $3K on Sunday, and I think we're back to even on this. We're down $259 this month so far. Again, it's been a bad month, but we crushed last month with 13.5K. Did decent the month before on just doing this 3 times a week. Halfway through or I guess at the beginning of the month, short month. So still cleared 3K, so 6 units month before. But yeah, we're up 16K, so 32 units so far this season. Not bad for 2.5 months. And
is there a site like DK FanDuel? Is there one that tends to give better alt lines, or just it's all game dependent?
Barstool, and FoxBet. Barstool / Bet Rivers / Twin Spires. They all use the same lines. But yeah, it's DK as I've done well. Barstool, FoxBet I haven't, but I only bet one. They pretty consistently have some bad alt lines. Like I yanked all my money out of FoxBet because they'd only let me put down like $100 on a prop. And then I started seeing some bad alt lines for baseball, and so I put some money back in there. But yeah, as you can see, Barstool I've cleared 1,400. DK I've cleared 1,400. But I mean, it's different every single day for every single line. There's sometimes like I wait and I look at it and I find a terrible one and I pounce on it.
Yeah. And if you go on Scores and Odds, there's a way to find the best alt lines for whatever you're looking for, I suppose.
I don't know.
Do we have an alt line finder? Because I know we have best place to find home runs, best place, strikeouts, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, we have the run line.
Yeah, I'd like to get that there. We'll put a memo out there for the people if it's not there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're just always putting in. I mean, same thing with RG. We're constantly putting in new things. So yeah, that'll definitely be on the list. I'll talk. I know a guy.
You mentioned Barstool. Did you see that story? And talking about like how lines can change when you're trying to bet stuff like live.
Yeah.
There was this guy telling a story. Basically, he was in the casino for what it's worth. He was trying to bet NFL like draft, like this guy in the top 5, this guy in the top 3, and like they refused. They said he would take his bet, and then they punched up the ticket. And before they handed it over, they changed the odds on him, and they changed the amount he can wager. And it just seems like such a shady. I mean, I don't know. This is one guy's account. I was just listening to this story.
Was he in person or online?
He was in person.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. He ended. I can't remember the guy's name. I'll send you the link. I'm sure I can find it somewhere. It came across my Twitter timeline. Just sort of talking about how like this kind of stuff happens sometimes. I mean, and maybe this guy, and they checked his ID, and maybe this guy knows a guy, that kind of thing, or somehow he's known. I didn't recognize his name. Maybe I should know who he is, but I just thought it was an interesting practice.
Yeah, no, it's pretty standard, especially with live betting. So on most sites, depending on how sharp you are, they essentially put a timer to wait and see if things happen. Like I don't bet on MGM anymore because it'll take 30 seconds for it to go through. So let's say that the other team makes a 3-pointer. They're like, oh yeah, we'll let it go through. But if anything good happens, like the team you're betting on ends up scoring that possession, they'll be like, no, rejected. So like
what time is that window of like you submit and they accept? There's like a 20-second window or 10-second window?
Depends on site, depends on how good you are. MGM hates me right now. So
the bigger the window, the more they can shaft you. It's like, they can play those results in that window. If there's an algorithm that's fast enough to understand what's going on, and I imagine there is one.
Yep. PointsBet will wait about 30 seconds.
I hate that.
Yeah. MGM
commercial
will wait
breaks
about
maybe
10.
take advantage of it. Is that the best time to do that, or just use one of the is the best to make those bets like right at the start of a commercial, so there's no window where they can play results for 20 seconds or 15 seconds?
Yes, but also more sharp money will roll in during commercial, and so the line will, like if you're a sharp guy, the line's going to move regardless.
Yeah.
If you're sharp, you waiting 10 seconds. Everyone else, a lot of the other sharp bettors who have multiple different accounts, multiple different runners, they'll be able to get it in, and you're just kind of screwed.
Milwaukee lineup is out, by the way. Wong batting 9th. Brousseau is batting 8th. I don't know why I'm going backwards, but Caratini made it. It looks a little different. McCutchen leading off. Adames, Yelich, Renfroe, Hira, Kane, Caratini, Brousseau, and Wong. So
high strikeout lineup. Do we have a line out for longs?
Well, Long's not. He's not going to go long. He's not going to go deep.
Ironic.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't think it's. I mean, if there is one, it's not high. What is Long's? Okay, I don't see there's not even one out there as far as I can tell. At least on Scores and Odds.
There's not one.
But just wanted to note, that this is kind of worthless. Well, if you were betting like Wong to hit like 1.5 hits or whatever, it's less likely to happen now.
All right, now we're probably not talking any bets. So if you guys care about bets and bets only, then probably get out of here. But Dean, have you watched Lord of the Rings or Aladdin yet?
I'm a terrible friend. I watched the half hour of the Lord of the Rings and I fell asleep.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and then I had to watch. Well, Better Call Saul came out.
Dean, you don't leave your house. You have an unlimited amount of time. I watched 3 seasons of Better Call Saul this weekend.
You are more time efficient than I am.
That's accurate.
Are you watching this with the lady friend, or you're watching it solo?
So she was out of town for her bridal shower.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice.
So
any shenanigans there that you should know about?
I don't think so. If they got a stripper, I wouldn't care. I mean, her mom set it up, so I doubt there was a stripper. But I already told her, like, she has her bachelor party in Denver. I'm like, you should. Have
a good time.
There's a gay strip club right next to one of my favorite, or a lot of my favorite bars.
Yeah.
I told her to go there, and I think that's a no-go. But I mean, it has great drinks. So there's this place called Postino's in Denver.
Is that the place with the bingo, by the way? You talked to me about the bingo. Is that the bingo place?
No, that's Icons in Colorado Springs. Fantastic gay bar. They have drag brunch bingo, and it like they.
And you've won, right?
Yeah, I've won some things there. But like the owners, 2 fantastic guys. They're getting married. I think it's around the same time I am. But they were former Broadway performers. So they start a bar and they don't hire bartenders. They're like, we'll hire Broadway performers and we'll teach them to bartend. And
that's a good concept.
Like everyone there who works there performs. Great bar, great atmosphere.
It's like Macaroni Grill, but like for doesn't Macaroni Grill like singers around the? I'm pretty sure I had a friend of mine who worked there, and he was a singer, and I think that's what everybody does at And they also, I think you could draw on like paper on the table, at least once upon a time. Is that still in existence, Macaroni Grill? I don't know.
Yeah. I think it is, but I've never actually been to one. Strangely enough.
Me either. My friend didn't invite me, apparently.
Yeah,
you were saying.
Yeah, is there any bet you want to just add a third movie to your repertoire? I'll give you. I got plus 260 on James Van, whatever his name is. You can take the other side of it because I have plus 260 for a movie bet.
Well, I mean, I feel like one of us should watch an Air Bud.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to watch an Air Bud, but like we had a whole argument debate.
Loser watches Air Bud. Sound good?
An Air Bud of their choosing?
No, the original, because we talked enough about basketball.
Okay, the actual, but yeah, I mean that was the first sport where they recognized Air Bud was like no other golden retriever. I think he was a golden retriever. He was a golden receiver, so it would make sense that he's a golden retriever. He was it a he? I don't know. Bear Bud was a he. Well, I'm not sure, but well, here's the thing: is like I'm backed up, and I feel bad because I still owe you Aladdin. You give me such terrible movies, and not even the Will Smith one, which is probably like unintentionally funny. At least maybe. Is the original Aladdin funny with Gilbert Gottfried? Maybe
It's good. It's got some funny moments.
As an adult,
yeah. There's when they say take off your clothes because Walt Disney was not only an anti-Semite but also a pervert.
Yeah, I've heard those things. Yeah, that's that's out there. I don't know. Is that confirmed? I'm not really sure. I haven't.
It's sad. It's true, but
yeah. By the way, the closest.
Oh, he was absolutely an anti-Semite. That's
the closest Macaroni Grill to me is in Orlando, which is like 3.5 hours away. So it still exists. There you go.
Let's see if there's one in Colorado Springs.
So if you're in
there is one in Colorado Springs. How far is it away from me?
There you go, man. You got to check it out. Do you know that I think that's their gimmick? You can write on paper you can write on the table.
Oh yeah, it's great for kids.
And they sing. Yeah.
Oh, Macaroni Grill's way south. Way south.
You think it's better than Olive Garden? I feel like it's like in
No.
the power rankings. Well, no. I mean, as far as the power rankings, I think people assume it's Olive Garden's like the punchline. Like, all Italian food's great except for Olive Garden.
Really? Oh, their breadsticks and their zuppa Toscana.
You don't like the breadsticks because they're free and they're instant. That's why you like them. You can't.
No, they're delicious.
You can't.
They are.
How do you screw up breadsticks? You can't do it.
Oh, trust me, Little Caesars, terrible breadsticks.
The crazy bread?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
You're more of a sane bread kind of guy?
But like the breadsticks, a lot of them are just very bland. Like Olive Garden's whatever seasoning they have, plus dip it in the zuppa Toscana or in some. I always get a side of Alfredo. Do you like Alfredo sauce?
No.
Yeah, you're weird.
Are you serious? There's no chance.
Okay, well, everyone loves Alfredo sauce except for you.
Yeah, I don't like. And then when they put it in the pasta, like, what are we talking about? Pasta sauce is red; it's not white.
I'm a white pasta sauce guy.
Are you really? You're not. Yeah. We're not pasta compatible.
No, I mean
we can't do the Lady in the Tramp thing because
you're pretty. Let me guess. Your favorite pasta is spaghetti.
Well, why do you say that so condescendingly?
Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, how spaghetti's got to be on the podium. Like, who doesn't like spaghetti? That's the base.
I mean, it's my fiance's favorite pasta. So,
but why is that an insult? What do you like, fettuccine Alfredo?
No, you're just a basic bitch. I put knee in there to censor it.
No, I mean, that is the bar. The pasta, the standard spaghetti is the bar. Like, why try anything different? But like,
squidding pasta is
what is it?
Probably my number one. Fettuccine Alfredo is probably number two.
I like rigatoni.
The rest of my pastas, I think, are like tortellini, lasagna, like
here's the key with lasagna. I feel like we've talked about this before. The key with lasagna is get the ragout out. I don't want any ricotta. That takes
the exact
whole
opposite. I like extra ricotta. Ricotta is by far like I love stuffed shells. I love stuffed manicotti.
But it's stuffed with ricotta and we can't have it. It's done.
That's what I want it stuffed with. I love ricotta.
What is being served? What kind of appetizer is being served at your wedding? I want to be consulted.
I can't remember.
Are they Dean compatible or what?
I mean, for dinner, like you like steak, right?
Sure.
You probably like it well done.
No, why you keep insulting me?
Well, you have the taste of a child.
Why would I get a steak well done?
Yeah, we have chicken piccata. We have a Denver steak.
What's a Denver steak?
It's a kind of steak. I think it's also
an omelet on top.
No, it's a flat iron steak, or similar to a flat iron steak.
Okay.
It's really good. Then you get potatoes. You like potatoes, I assume?
No, I mean they're fine. I'm not a big fan.
Such a weird dude.
You got those Rocky Mountain oysters?
No, I will not.
Is that just a thing that like they tell tourists that like the locals nobody really eats those?
Yeah, I've never seen them at any place.
Not even on the menu. You've never saw Rocky Mountain oysters.
I don't think so.
The bull's balls.
Yeah, I'd try them.
I would try it. I mean, why not? Sure. And they fry it up. Right? I mean, you fry anything up, unless it's like ricotta, it's going to be acceptable most likely. Probably tastes like chicken. I don't know. That's weird. You don't even see them on the menu?
I just got a email from a place that did my swamp cooler. They messed it up and I never paid them, and yet they're still asking.
And your what?
Swamp cooler. It's an air conditioning system that's used in dry or high altitude places.
You're saying swamp?
Yeah, swamp cooler.
Swamp core?
Cooler.
Oh, cooler. Like, what are you talking about? Okay, that's an interesting name. Is that the name brand? Swamp cooler?
No, it's what it is. It goes on top of the house. You have air running through it, and it cools the house and also makes it more humid for dry, arid places. But we should probably get out of here. We've been talking about
we can take this conversation off air.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. We'll be back in tomorrow. Maybe riding solo, maybe not. Also, likely doing a Twitter Spaces.
What?
Twitter Spaces.
What are those? Exactly. I see people live, and I'm like, "What is a Twitter Spaces? Should I be doing those?" I have no idea.
We're doing that. I got a secret guest because I say secret because it's Luch's buddy. Super knowledgeable NFL draft guy. So we're going to be going through some draft bets likely tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. So stay tuned for that. It'll be on the Scores and Odds and Twitter account. And
how does one get on Twitter? Do you have to be verified to have a Twitter space?
I have no idea. No clue at all.
Like, could I have a Twitter space theoretically, or can Joe Blow 42076 have like a Twitter space?
Yeah, we can do that.
I'm just wondering if that's something anybody can do. I have no idea.
Yeah, we may do that, but in any case, we'll be back tomorrow. We're out of here. See you, kids.
Holler.